Christ is risen. I'm Father Czesław Krysa, rector of St. Casimir's Church in Buffalo, New York, with the third series of videos on the domestic church. Today we're looking at the heaven window. Some doors have windows. It takes me back to a story with my grandmother. When I was a toddler and we were walking into the kitchen, my grandmother pointed up above the kitchen table and she said, "Look, there's Gotti." Of course, I'm translating this from her original language. We don't usually talk this way in English, so it's unfamiliar to us. We use diminutive forms for doggy and kitty and Joey and granny, but we don't usually use them for God. Well, her language did. And every word had a diminutive, which spoke terms of endearment, of a close relationship, of something that was nourished and nurtured at the home, very familiar, very intimate. You would use that type of speech when you wanted to express something like that. It was also for her, because she pointed to this image, which was the Madonna and Child, a connection. That Madonna and Child, which she brought from her home village, town, when she came to the United States, was a connection to her country, her family, her memory of a comfort zone. It was actually something greater than herself and her home, so it kind of went beyond the home. The interesting thing is, in our parish church, the exact same picture was depicted over the high red rose altar, and the same prayer underneath was written, "Under your protection we flee." Well, I think that her experience over the kitchen table was for her like a window. This is a window to a reality beyond herself, because the Byzantine tradition calls icons or images windows to heaven. So I'm saying every door, or some doors, particularly the heaven door, has a window, and that's a heaven window. It opens our home to a reality as something further away, greater than we are. In this case, to God, whom we encounter through things that I call action prayers. Action prayers are things like a sprinkling of holy water, the use of beads in prayer, flowers, lighting of a candle. This gets us to the other side of the window, or at least brings our attention to what's on the other side of the window of our heaven door. Because the picture that is displayed, the heaven window, on the heaven door, is often chosen as a family patron, these family patron saints have reached their destiny. Many times their baptismal destiny. What is their baptismal destiny? Heaven is the destiny of the baptized. So they're the ones that can lead us to the door. As a matter of fact, they often open the door for us as we take the various instruments mentioned earlier. They open the door so Jesus can come in. So our family patrons show their solicitude for our destiny as they let Christ in. They're not just legends or guides or examples to follow. They become for us images of interior perception. We encounter them, therefore, as living persons. We encounter them when we enter into that relationship with them by lighting a candle, saying a prayer, reading sacred scripture, entering into these action prayers, which are encounters in themselves, with, first of all, our patron, who brings us to the door of heaven, then our ultimate destiny, which is the house of God, the Blessed Trinity. They are distinguished, these sacred images, or heaven windows, from a decoration, a favorite, a print, or house furnishing or accessory in our home, because they elicit this interaction a mutual interaction, not just, oh, that's nice, or where did that come from? They strengthen and nourish a real intimate spiritual relationship. We enter into relationship with another person. It's something like if you have in your home and your family a studio photo, particularly the old studio photos. You cherish that. There's usually only one copy of it unless you scan it or something on that order. And you give a certain respect to it. You touch it, handle it, frame it, hang it in a certain place because it brings you into contact. It almost brings that person closer to you. Well, the sacred image is where, once in a while even, we encounter that sacred person. And for them, they open to me into my house, heaven, which is our destiny, which comes to us in Jesus, as we have seen. Maybe some of you have seen the writing or the plaque of Joshua's quote, "As for me and my house, we shall serve the Lord." A very beautiful and appropriate plaque for the home. But remember, the Catholic tradition goes one step further. One step further here means an image of relationship, an entering into a person's life, where Catholic enfleshes the words of "at the heaven door." So today we spoke about the heaven image. The heaven door, which is a sacred image that you will choose. And I ask you to see the Tandem article that goes along with this video and make some considerations there. Consider the questions. Next week, we're going to ask the question, does your family have a tabernacle? Christ is risen.